I do have to say, England, the kids' parks are not very lit very well in this country. I just wondered what other people think about whether or not the children's park should be lit, and should they put all the normal electrics in. I've just done it again. Headphones in. So I will carry on. I already know that I'd completely realised. Headphones in. So what I was basically saying is, I've just been down past 2 parks, and obviously me and the boys went to the park last night, and it's really, really, really dark nights. And I'm wondering how many people would be willing to also, like me, just write to the council to say that we obviously need some lights on the parks. But the question is, you know, instead of these things now, can we actually be using solar lights? Can we put electric lights in? Lots of different ways of doing it. That doesn't mean that we've got to dig in the earth. I mean, there's no reason why, like down at Victoria Park, that they can't just put some of them ones that, you know, soak up all the light in the day and then glow a little bit at the night, just to sort of dull it down before it goes pitch black. But the thing is, at the end of the day, like even these traffic lights, and this is what I keep saying to people about going, oh yeah, great, let's barge straight through Parliament. I mean, the irony, right? If take Friday for example, right? Say there was a strategy in place, yeah, and people went, right, we're going to have like a flash mob. We're going to have all these people that don't look like they're protesting, that are just getting on about their day, sitting in pubs, sitting around the area, just chilling. We're going to send a whole fucking people to completely fucking exhaust them out. Rah, rah, rah at the gate. And then all of a sudden, just as they think that's it, they've stopped them, that's as far as it goes, and that's all that can be done, then obviously all of the people that were sitting down the side would literally be able to quarantine the police off in all of the places where I'd showed you, and from there literally people would be able to go through the gate. The question is, say hypothetically people go through the gate, then what? Say a bunch of anarchists and all of that decide, okay, cool, we're going to go right through Parliament Gate, we're going to, I don't know, bound up the policemen, bound up the army. Then what? Then what? What are a bunch of numbnuts going to do about the street lights, the traffic lights, how children learn, whether we're going to learn as families, because we can't have children going backwards? What are they going to do about the people who are sitting in call centres all night? And these people will be here literally all night waiting to see if a call comes through for the fire service. And then up there will also be the call centre here for this particular area, who will then take all of the calls for anything from whether there's a burglary, whether there's a cat stuck up a tree, whether a child's gone missing, whether there's been a car crash, or whether one of these are needed. Do you know how much one of these cost? Like, seriously, do you know how much skill and how much time it took for somebody? Because don't forget, they used to have the little ports in all of the cities, and they used to put the fire hose on them, and then all of a sudden, do you know how heavy these fire hoses are? So these machines are basically built to make sure that whether it be a flat, a school, your home, a bush on fire, and these little patrol cars, and then obviously you've got fire people that have to train. And at the end of the day, whether it be naturally caused disaster, so all of a sudden bolt of lightning hits this particular school, all of a sudden this school is on flames, somebody sees it, or the fire alarm goes on. Don't forget, somebody had to design and think about fire alarms. We have fire safety people that go around buildings and check to see and make sure that, say you've got 500 children in a school, yeah? So say you've all just dropped your kids off at school in the morning, yeah? What if all of a sudden one of them teachers goes out the back, has a sneaky fag down the back, throws it down, bolts on a piece of paper on a piece of homework that some child wasn't interested in, and whoosh, you're watching a school going up, right? And all of a sudden, you see this school going up, and we don't have a fire service. Well, nobody thought about it. Nobody thought about organising a structure and training up men to be able to sit in an office and go out educating people about fire safety, things like this, and making sure that, goddamn, if a fire ever came, blah, 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 yeah, if that fire ever came, that we have a way of dealing with it. Even things like, don't forget, this road was shut down for COVID. Sorry, to put the big pole up, yeah. Even if they went through here, we can get these down for the fire and emergencies and things like that. Shame I can't show you something. Let me just see if I can have a quick peep. The guys that are in here now are training for one of the world's greatest dance competitions. Let me just have a look. Yeah, they're training. Hang on, 2 secs. Let me see. Commercial jazz funk or something. Yeah, the street dance team that are in there's 4 of them, and they're training for the big thing at Alton Towers at the moment. I've been in a couple of times, and I'll be going in again before they get ready. It's fun. It's really fun. They're quite good. They've written all their music anyway. So what I'm basically saying is, say hypothetically, everybody that was really pissed off with the way that things were being dealt with right now, not just here in England, Scotland, Wales, but around the world, there was anarchy. There would be mayhem. There would be absolute mayhem. Most people would be sitting in their houses scared shitless. Most people would be scared to go to any shop because there wouldn't be shopkeepers in them shops. There would just be wild hyenas that had scavenged like a fucking thing Friday when people go for them sales, but it will be a free-for-all. The shop windows would all be smashed up. The buildings would all be burnt down. We would have absolutely nothing. Do you know what I mean? It would just be one absolute diabolical mess. Do you know what I mean? And I wonder if people have really thought about this. I wonder if all of the people that are out there doing some really crazy things, I wouldn't fire. Did you see, I was watching one of the videos back on the Sun, and somebody had actually thrown something over one of the police officers' heads, and out of all of the police officers, it actually hit a female police officer, and it smacked her up the back of the head. So at the end of the day, I just wonder if people wonder, if it kicked off, who's going to pay for the street lights? Who's going to keep the shops going? And if you were the person who had all of the responsibility on your head, how would you do it? So anyway, I've got to go.